Today we're talking all about the importance of having an accountant. This has been massive to our business, and this is coming from someone who did all of it on their own at first, which I do think you should self-educate yourself. You should know about taxes. You should know about the things that are getting filed, why they're getting filed, how to reconcile accounts, how to do the general book work. But I don't think you should do all of it yourself. I think that it's great to know things so you can have an educated conversation with an accountant, but as far as trying to do it all yourself, I think that's setting yourself up for failure. But before we get into that, I'm Jacob Godar. I have a lawn and landscape company in Florida and one in Illinois, and I've had a long road of progression starting from doing all of this at first, really knowing and learning everything about accounting, to filing our own stuff, to doing all the tax stuff. It was ultimately a big burden. I didn't have any major balls dropped because it was something that if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. I'm gonna take the time and make sure I can finalize, or otherwise I'd go and get mentorship or help or some kind of help from someone to make sure we got it done right. But where I'm leading though is there's so many things to know about accounting, and there's some pointers that I wanna point out to you, that if you're in this conversation in your mind of should I get an accountant, can I afford an accountant? Man, I can do it myself and save myself a lot of money. This video is gonna help you. So with what I just said, this isn't even on my kind of pointers for the video, but you think, can I save myself a lot of money by doing this? Because man, an accountant's just so expensive. You could potentially upfront save yourself a lot of money by doing some of this stuff yourself. Then on the tail end, when you screw a bunch of stuff up, you could cost yourself a lot of money. And in business, it's so important to not think about what's right down at your feet. You're thinking about a long ways out. You're not thinking, man, I can save money today. You're thinking about how well is this gonna go in the future? And there's a lot of opportunity to screw things up in accounting because you don't know what you don't know. And that leads us right into my second kind of thing that is extremely important to this, is you need to stay in the wheelhouse of where you're best at. You know, a lot of people start companies and they're only good at doing a service or whatever the technician role is anyway. And so trying to learn the accounting aspect of business when you should be just trying to learn general business acumen so you can become a better operator, it's not the right direction to go. Learn about the things, stay in your wheelhouse of where you can be extremely productive, you can make the most money, you can really grow and expand your company. Because in the beginning, when you're starting off, there's so much opportunity to add systems and figure out what kind of softwares and how are we gonna market versus thinking about accounting. Some people can carry this stuff on and they can do a lot of this for a long, long time. And you can make a few simple tax mistakes that, back to the original thing we talked about, can cost you a lot of money. So as a landscaper, designer, installer, lawn maintenance person, whatever you want to call us, service business guy, I know that I'm going to make the most money and add the most benefit to my company, to the employees, by not worrying about accounting and having a professional do that tries to make a profit on that. And I'm going to do the best by focusing on selling more work, how to add more business, how to manage it better to get it to flow through the system better. So that's huge. Not focusing on that stuff at all is a huge, huge thing for your business. Now, when you don't have to focus on that, there's other things. You want to be able to focus on your business, and being able to stay consistent with the things that matter is so huge. And I said, you don't have to worry about making a mistake. That's a really big point all in itself. The reassurance that everything's getting done and having someone to go back on if there's an issue. You know, if you file all your taxes trying to save money, or trying to do all your bookwork trying to save money yourself, there's no one to go to and say, hey, this is all screwed up, this is wrong. I was trying to save money and screwed it all up, so now you gotta look in the mirror, and then you've gotta try to get yourself out of that issue, versus having some kind of tax professional there for you when you say, hey, this isn't right, this wasn't good enough, we need to fix this, we need to make it better. And then with all their experience, they can go on and work with you to amend that situation, to make that situation better, to figure out how to avoid it in the future, and ultimately really, really move forward in a company and give you the reassurance that things are going on and getting done correctly, so you can focus back to the things, staying in the wheelhouse. This is all very similar. Like, all these points really go in line, because now I'm taking up less of my mental bandwidth worrying about, are things done right? Are taxes done right? Am I gonna be, oh my God, am I gonna owe some crazy fine because I've screwed stuff up for years? Now you don't have to worry about that, so you can worry about the things that make your company the most money, give the most opportunity to everyone in your company. Now, finally, having an accountant where it's been majorly beneficial for us, someone we work with, someone that's on top of our books, that's in all our accounts, that knows everything about our business, knows what we do, how we do it, where I track my personal finances, how we track everything, and can look at it as a whole. One of the biggest things that I learned is you should be meeting monthly with your accountant to see if they see any holes that you don't see in your business. They might not have the same mindset because they're more geared to keep you out of like financial law issues, but they can still see like, does something look screwy on your balance sheet? Does the balance sheet look weak? Is there questions on profitability? You know, like one of my meetings, I had one of our accountant asked me, this was a couple years ago, we had a really bad job go sideways in spring and it cost us a ton. And he said, you know, where's X amount of money? It looks like you're about $40,000 behind where you should be on profit, meaning like we'd lost a lot of money. And they get to probe and ask these good questions that then really drive if you're doing a good job paying attention to your business and knowing what's going on. Because in business, a lot of times, it's not that bad things happen, but it's knowing how they happen so you can avoid them in the future. So that's how you see next time, is something like this gonna happen again? And he asked me, where's that money? Why are you this much less profitable this year? And I said, over here, we had this job that lost us $40,000 in labor. Just so happens we are $40,000 behind. I would say that's the reason right there. And he didn't care that we'd screwed up. He was happy that I knew what happened, where did that money go, why did it happen, and that it wasn't just, oh, I don't know where the money went. And a lot of people operate their business like that. And if you don't check in with something on a monthly, on a minimum a quarterly, in my mind, like if you're doing it yearly, I think that is totally fucking wrong, and you should do it more. And you can tell me up and down that that's worked for you for years and years and years. And I'll tell you right now, the faster you're growing, the more you're doing, the more you're expanding, the more you're adding. Like you need to do it more. Yes, if you've ran a business forever and you've been solo and you don't have any ambitions of growing, maybe you can get away with doing it less. But if you are growing monthly, do this. Worst case scenario, you get busy and you let 2 months lapse and then you catch up on those things. Then you can see where problems are, where the holes in the bucket are. Because the other side of that, I knew where the money had went. There's a lot of people in business that do what I just said. They're like, man, we've been losing and I don't know why. Is it my labor rate? Is it I'm spending like a disproportionate amount of money somewhere, something going on that I don't know about? And not knowing is one of the biggest problems in business. Not knowing where the problem is, not knowing what caused the issue, not knowing what is causing us to fail. So having an account is key. It helps you have reassurance that things are happening when they should happen. It lets you focus on the things that are most important in your business without worrying, and it allows you to meet with someone that also looks and is in your best interest for them to really evaluate and see, is there anything you're missing? And a great meeting with my accountant is, hey, the numbers look dope, you're kicking ass, this and this are going on. I say, cool, I see where I messed up there, whatever, all is well. And hey, I wanna buy a couple more trucks, or I wanna do this, or I wanna do that. It's not even a scary hard meeting. A lot of people, I'm looking right at you. I know what it's like to feel embarrassed or worried about numbers, but the only way you can make sure things are right and that you don't need to be embarrassed or worry about numbers is working with professionals, getting help, and really being more open about what's going on in your company so you can have some success and get to the point where you're just having checkup calls that you know they're gonna be good, you know we're gonna be saying good things, and asking questions about where do we go from here. So if this video has pushed you to say, yes, I've had it, I need an accountant, it's been too long, I've pushed it too far, I need more help than just what we can do or what we've been doing, because maybe the account we have isn't doing the best. I had years of that as well. Then give this video a like, subscribe, and share this with someone else that's in small business, because if you're in small business, you're struggling with accounting a lot of time. And at a phase, it's having the best accountant that you can get. At a phase, it's trying to do it on your own. And somewhere you get to the point where you really sync up and you're happy with the team that you've created of other people that help your company. And an accountant's a key role to make sure that's filled in. So share this with anybody that has a business, because it's sure to help them think about this.